it's Tara here with Createlifepaperwords, and today I have for you my day in the life for July. So the day that I picked this month was July 29th. It was very much at the end of the month, but I did choose it that way because I knew we were going to be having a fun day. We've also been doing a lot of road trips this past summer, and this was one of our road trip days. So I knew that we'd, have a couple things that we'd be doing, and that it would be something that we had been doing on a continual basis. So the first page that I chose to do was this one 6x8 of my daughter. And all I did was add a bit of thickers and then a little wood veneer from Colorcast Designs. I always like to start off my day in the life by having a picture in the morning. Sometimes they're of me and sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're flattering, but most of the time they're not. So I did take one with my husband. I'm pretty sure this was about 7:30 or so. 7:35. I stamped the time on there. Just because I find that it's fun to sort of record when I wake up at least. He had, of course, been up way earlier than that and was already for work. So you see me stamping here with my white ink. I used the Stampin' Up! Craft ink in Whisper White, and I find that I really like how it goes on. I also just used a stamp on top of a label and then added a little star on it. It's a bit simpler than I normally do, but I didn't want to overwhelm this page with too much. I just wanted to share our morning. So the next, I should note on this one, I didn't have another 6x8 that I printed, so what I opted to do was just stick two together of different ones. My normal tape runner didn't work, so I had to use sticky tape, and that seemed to do the trick. So I don't know if it just because it was a heavier plastic, maybe that's why. So for my next spread, what I like to do is I like to do the 2 pages at a time. I just find that it's a little easier color-wise for me. So I decided to go with bright pink and then some bright green with some black and white as well. The card in the top right, that's the top right left. There we go. It's got #MomLife, and I really, really liked that card because I thought it was very fitting for this day. Most definitely, my mornings, it definitely feels like mom life as I try and get everyone going and everyone dressed and all that other stuff. So I did a little bit of journaling about our morning. That morning we were in a bit more of a rush than normal. We were trying to finish up packing and get kids out the door and fed and everyone dressed and, make sure everyone had finished packing. So it was really nice to be able to add a bit of journaling into that. I found this doily that matches that green perfectly, and then I added 2 labels, one in a pink and one in a green. And then I just sort of stuck this little black arrow on it, and again just did like a little caption for the photo of my son with his luggage. And then under the loving I put my little man, just because I thought it was a really cute one. This stamp is from Gossamer Blue, I believe, with the little check mark. Again, stamping in white. I really, really love stamping on photos. If you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know that. I just find that I just really like how it looks. And then as I'm putting everything in, you'll notice that I don't usually round my corners on both sides. I personally like the square corners, so I just usually keep the rounded corners and I don't try to match them up too much. So this one right here, my husband actually sent me a picture, which was really awesome of him, and it's of him, I think he was combining. This was the first day that they were harvesting this year. As you noticed, I did have that label was sticky on the back side, so what I did is I just put a little bit of paper on and then cut it out so that it's not sticky when you're flipping it over or anything like that. I don't want anything to get stuck to it. Trying to find cards. A lot more journaling. I sped through this one for you because it was a lot of journaling. But I think that's what's really nice about the day in the life, is where I don't normally document as much journaling in my normal weekly album. I find that it's nice to be able to do so in my day in the life. And I really like this one little label. I can't remember what it said. So I was trying to find something that would go on it. I wanted to use sort of the lime greens again with some yellows and some blues. So I grabbed this washi tape and this doily. I guess I was having a thing for doilies that day. I don't really know. I just really liked how it looked. And then I used a little circle label, and I put the little sticker over top of that little circle label, and used my mini attacher to do that. Put another date or another timestamp on. And then I'm just sort of fiddling where I want the placement of this label to go. And I decide to have it go underneath. I can't remember what I did. And then I had remembered I had a little rotary stamp that fit just perfectly, and I didn't want the end of it, so I just stamped the left part, I believe. And then we did stop for ice cream because I love ice cream and it's, summer and hot. So I found these cute little printables. I think they were from Kelly Perky, and she had emailed them with her newsletter, and they were ice cream shop ones. So I printed it off and filled it in, and I thought that was fun. That wood veneers from Color Cast Designs. And then I'm just doing a little bit of writing with my white Uniball gel pen, which is my favorite white pen, I think, to use to do any journaling with. And again, pretty simple little layout there. But as you can see, those two inserts complement each other, so I do the same thing on this one as well. And then I realized that my page protector that I want is the other way, so I just had to flip them around. We went to see the Minions movie, so what I did is I had these cards from Studio Calico, and I'd bought the printables. I figured I'd probably use them quite a bit, so it's a movie review card, and in Word, I just had found a picture of the Minions movie poster, and then put the movie review on the other side, and then I just printed it all that way. I'm using some thickers just because I want to really make this picture stand out, and it says fun at the water park. I realized that I maybe should have moved the fun in a different spot, but I do like how it turned out. You just can't really see all of the water park, but I think it still really does pop, so it's really nice that way. A little bit more journaling and labels, which are really nice. And this yellow card, I think it was from one of the Studio Calico kits, but I just love the pop of yellow, and it matches perfectly with that Minions movie poster that I had printed off. So that's why I use that. This was sort of my white and black with some yellow pops of color in there. Just playing around with my embellishments. I'm just sort of digging into my stash. I don't know where this came from. I don't know if it was a printable or a die cut or something like that. And then going through cards, sometimes that's the hardest. I did decide not to go with the picture that I had there, and I was feeling that I already had a picture very similar to that earlier in the book, so instead I decided to do a bit more journaling. Because again, it's day in the life, and it's, nice to have all that journaling about what you did that day. And then all I did was add a tiny bit of washi at the top, and then I also added a stamp as well. And this is from Studio Calico's Fairgrounds kit. I wasn't sure if I was going to like this stamp at all, but I found out that I did once I started using it. So thank you so much for joining me for July of 2015's Day in the Life. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and that you'll join me for my next one. Bye!